Up the radar, I'm looking into the holiday weekend, and I'll tell you, and I think we could see some rain return all ahead.
Okay, David, breaking news. A JSU professor found dead inside his house in Madison.
Yeah, this happened at a home just off Madison Avenue on Harris Lane in Madison. That's where 16 WAPT's Tammy Eswick is live with what police are saying tonight. Tammy.
Yeah, police still not ready to call this a murder just yet, but you can see right here over my shoulder, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation still out here on the scene. They've been here for about several hours, out here since about 2:30. Now, family members identified the man inside, the victim, as Dr. Garrett Shelton. They say he's a JSU professor. Detectives say after the man didn't show up for work this morning, family members went to check on him. That's when a cousin says they found the JSU professor dead in his bedroom with multiple stab wounds. Madison Police Chief described the scene for us, but we also spoke to the man's pastor tonight. And you heard about this. What were you thinking?
Oh, I was shocked. I was shocked. Not in Madison, if I can get away with that one. You know, not this close to the church, and certainly we all are concerned.
I don't know that there's a struggle. There is blood in the house.
A bloody scene. Where's the blood found?
Well, several areas in the house.
And investigators say a car was also stolen from the yard. They have put out a BOLO for that vehicle. It is a four-door black Chevy Malibu with a license plate number 2298A/P. Live in Madison, Tammy Eswick, 16 WAPT News.
Now, Tammy, during this investigation, have police found any weapons yet?
We're still checking with MBI on that. As you can see behind me, they're still busy working this investigation, but we'll have that for you as soon as the information becomes available.
All right, Tammy Eswick live for us tonight. We want to give you another look at that license tag right now. It is 2298AP. It's a specialty plate for his fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha. It is on a four-door black Chevy Malibu. Stay with 16 WAPT for breaking details in this case. The man accused of taking pictures of Senator Thad Cochran's wife is facing some new charges tonight.
And a new series of accusations from both Cochran and challenger Chris McDaniel. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons is live in the newsroom right now. Scott.
Yeah, Cochran's campaign today accused Chris McDaniel of committing a crime, that he knew of the photo-taking crime but did nothing to report it to authorities. McDaniel fired back, accusing the Cochran campaign of, quote, shameful slander. And McDaniel's camp has pretty much done the same thing, asking why Cochran's camp waited weeks before bringing their evidence to Madison police. All of this while authorities did add a new charge to the case of Clayton Kelly, a second charge filed today of taking a photo without permission. District Attorney Michael Guest told me he does not believe anyone with the McDaniel camp is involved, but they do want to know who may have helped Kelly.
At this point, it's still too early to tell whether or not Mr. Kelly will be the only individual arrested, but we do want to find out who Mr. Kelly was communicating with on the days before and the days after that he went to St. Catherine's Village and made these videos and took these photographs.
Clayton Kelly is still behind bars on a $100,000 bond. He is back in court tomorrow.
Now, Scott, this race has been getting national attention for a few months, but we understand it's getting a new title from political analysts now.
Yeah, one we could do without, perhaps. The Washington Post has sent out a tweet today naming this Senate race as the nastiest primary in the country. And tonight at 10, I take a hard look at some of these campaign commercials we've been seeing so much of, going back and forth, both campaigns. Well, I'm going to put a few of them to the truth test. There have been a flood, not just from the candidates, but outside interests, too. And there's the Tea Party, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, super PACs, just to name a few. Well, I talked to PR expert Rick Lucer. He says they're using these negative ads for a reason.
People ask me all the time, why do car dealers scream and yell? You know, why do we see the ads? Why don't they do ads differently? Well, they've been doing that for 25 years. They do it because it works.
Yeah, both sides of this race are spending a lot of money, and they get loose with the facts in several cases. I'll put some of those commercial spots to the truth test tonight at 10. Back to you.
Okay, Scott, thanks. Now, police are looking for who is accountable after a deadly playground drive-by. Witnesses tell us they heard more than a dozen shots fired into a crowded St. Paul Park Tuesday night. It happened around 7, just a few moments after an argument on the basketball court. 19-year-old Jabari Day died when one of those bullets hit him in the chest, but police are still trying to find out if he was the intended target. And deputies say they have arrested a former JSU football player accused of trying to sneak drugs into a Rankin County prison. 16 WAPT's Jennifer Ortega has the story.
The Rankin County Sheriff's Department says the new high fence around the prison has helped with some of the smuggling, but Johnny Connor was a guard, and they tell us he could have just driven it right in. Deputies pulled Connor over on Bethel Road Friday. The former JSU football player was a guard at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility when deputies say they arrested him trying to smuggle in drugs.
After the traffic stop, a roadside investigation was conducted, and the contraband that you see before you here was found in the vehicle. We have approximately 20 pounds of just tobacco, which again on the streets not illegal, but at the correctional facility would be. 4 ounces, approximately 4 ounces of compressed marijuana. When I say compressed, it's just tightly compressed, easier to smuggle that way.
They also found an ounce of meth and a gun. Prison officials fired Connor after his arrest. He now faces charges of drug possession and conspiracy to smuggle contraband into a prison. Connor was released Tuesday after paying a $20,000 bond. In Rankin County, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.
Connor was a defensive tackle at JSU. He is originally from Macon, Mississippi. A guilty verdict tonight for a man who opened fire at a Hinds County deputy. It happened last year on Verbena Street in Jackson. Police say Marquise Charleston tried to run around a roadblock about a month ago. When a deputy tried to stop him, Charleston drove to his house, jumped out of the car, and fired shots at the deputy. He got away that day, but U.S. Marshals arrested him a short time later.
He faces a possible life sentence because of his criminal history, but we're very glad that he was found guilty. The jury saw through the facts and his defense.
Charleston also has 6 other felony convictions in Hinds County.
Assault accusations against a Madison County judge are headed to a grand jury this week. Several eyewitnesses claim Bill Weissenberger hit a black teen and yelled the N-word 2 weeks ago. The Madison County DA says the alleged incident happened while Weissenberger was working as a traffic monitor and parking attendant during the Canton Flea Market. Those witnesses accuse Weissenberger of striking the teen on the back of the head. Weissenberger has continued to work as a justice court judge since those allegations. Parents and students took to the streets today protesting the Natchez school superintendent. 16 WAPT's Adas Brown talked to them and explains why they're demanding change.
Who would want to send their child to a F-rated school?
Jeremy Houston's son goes to a Natchez public preschool. He joined other parents, students, and concerned neighbors this week in a fight against District Superintendent Frederick Hill.
We are hoping to have Dr. Hill removed.
Amos James says because of Hill, good teachers are leaving.
He is firing people without a cause. In other words, he's taking certified, career-level administrators and getting rid of those people and putting in entry-level, uncertified people.
We reached out to Superintendent Hill, and he sent us a statement. It reads in part, "I believe because of the high-stake expectations of accountability, the moves were necessary." But Clifton Marvell says Hill is the one who needs to leave.
As the slogan goes, today is the day for some action to be taken, because tomorrow might be too late.
Houston says their next step goes beyond the school district. They're taking their fight to the state.
They want to petition the state of Mississippi so we can be able to elect the school board and the school board be able to appoint a superintendent.
Hill says the community should spend less time identifying faults and focus more on doing what's best for their children. In Natchez, Adas Brown, 16 WAPT News.
That group plans to protest again on Friday. To see Superintendent Hill's full statement, look for the story on WAPT.com.
Soon you'll be able to fly from Madison to Destin, Florida. Southern Airways announced the new flight from Bruce Campbell Field today. It is the only air carrier in the country founded and operated by Mississippians. That first flight is set to depart on May 29th.
It'll be just like you book a ticket with any other air carrier. You'll go on the website, book a seat like you normally would, but instead of going through TSA and all the hassle of an international airport, you get the benefits of flying like these folks do over here, like you own your own airplane.
All tickets on that Madison to Destin flight start at $148. For more information, log on to our website at WAPT.com. The State Department of Corrections is looking for a parolee who walked away from a hospital. Sean Williams is on probation for grand larceny. He was taken to a halfway house to UMC for treatment on Tuesday and managed to escape. If you know where he is, call police.
After 12 years with the Ridgeland Police Department, Chief Jimmy Houston is stepping down.
16 WAPT's Emily Alexander talked with the chief about what sparked his decision.
For more than a decade, Ridgeland Police Chief Jimmy Houston has been a fixture at this department. But now he's turning in his badge.
My dad passed away at 63, and now I'm 62 years old, and I've been to 3 or 4 doctors that said, Jimmy, it's time for you to slow down.
Chief Houston says there are a lot of things he'll miss about working here at the department. One of the main ones, the people he's been able to work with.
I'll miss these young officers. You know, my heart is with every one of them. They scare me to death sometimes, some of the calls that they go on, that we went on too, but it's different when you look at these young men and young women.
Chief Houston says he's ready to try something new, teaching criminal justice at Holmes Community College.
It's just another one of those dreams of mine on my bucket list to teach in college, and that it opened up and I saw the chance, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
He has been an excellent chief. He's really led this department to great heights, and he's also helped the city, be safe and be what we need to be, and that's important.
In Ridgeland, Emily Alexander, 16 WAPT News.
Chief Houston's last day will be July 24th. Mayor McGee says the city is already looking at officers on the force to fill the chief's position.
Walking for a Cause, a special rock and roll event for homeless veterans.
Plus, a life-saving project, why it's never too early to learn how to save a life.
Another nice evening. We're still in the 80s, probably be in the 80s till about 7:30, 8 o'clock. After that, comfortable 70s. Memorial Day weekend is ahead, and I have the forecast coming up. You're watching 16 WAPT News.
It's the hottest race in Mississippi. Cochran versus McDaniel. But with all those attack ads, it's time for a truth test. So we're digging deeper with fact checks that may surprise you. Tonight at 10 on 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.